Hello and welcome to episode 545 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, a place where the small press makes one hell of a big noise. My name is Vince Hunt, and it's the first show of December, so we're looking forward to Christmas. And who's we? Well, first up, it's the creator of the epic new comic, Viper Red Shadow, as well as Vanguard. It's Mr. Daniel Butcher.
Hello.
And
congrats on that, by the way, Dan.
Yes.
Nice work,
cheers,
mate.
thank you.
Yeah, and those congratulations come from Tony, the big dog, Esmond.
Who had to admit he was really old in the interview that follows. and not actually in his late 30s, as he tried to pretend. Yeah.
Talking of Vanguard briefly, not self-promotion.
He actually just you won't see. You
Where
don't.
did that come from?
Yeah, you also don't see this, listeners. But he's got his glasses on, and he just pushed them to the top of the bridge of his nose. Business Dan just switched on. So yes, come on, Business Dan. What have you got?
I got a message from the website saying you need to update this plugin. A tech message, and I was like, okay, on the website. Yeah. And then I looked on the last page, and there's fucking loads and loads of comments. People saying like, "Oh, when's this coming back?" Like, I need to read the last chapter. And someone responded saying, "Oh, he usually does like 1 or 2 issues a year, so it'll probably be next year." And it's all this back and forth, and I was like, "Okay." I sort of jumped on and said,
"Oh, that's nice."
I'm coming back.
Oh, hi, Dan here.
Coming back. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah,
I'll be back next year.
Oh, that's nice.
I guess it's the thing with webcomics, because if people stop updating, they don't tell, and then just fuck off, and people are like.
Yeah, there's a lot of webcomics like that just never return, isn't there? But
yeah.
Not Vanguard. Vanguard's coming back.
There's a lot of ones, and certainly ones that I've read where they start like really sort of hot and heavy at the beginning. You're like, this is fucking brilliant, and then someone takes a break, and you just think, have you stopped? And then like 6 months to a year, maybe a couple of years later, it starts again for a little bit, and you don't quite know where you are with them.
Well, sometimes it's like they can be doing a comic.
And I just need a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
10 years.
Eat a banana and drink a bottle of water.
You could be doing like an amazing comic. Someone comes to you, like, I really like your comic. Do you want to make comics for us for 10 grand a month? You're like, yeah. You're like,
who the fuck is saying that?
No one's saying that.
No one's saying that.
No one's saying that.
Jesus,
you
Christ.
are busy though, man, doing comics for other people as well.
Yeah.
Done a lot of Green Arch stuff recently.
I love it. I love doing comics.
Good stuff, man.
I wish I could have more time to do it. Honestly.
Yeah. I panel edit on my dialogue today on a comic that's coming soon, and I was very excited. I wrote it, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, and just going back to it and comparing the art to what I'd written, I love it, man. It's so good. So much fun. Yeah. Comes alive, doesn't it, you know?
Yeah, it's one of the things is being a solo creator. When you do your text and dialogue, that's one thing. But when you're working with someone else and you've written a script, they draw it, and they brought something to it that I didn't. Yeah,
which is I think worth going back and looking at the dialogue again sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is said. I nearly always take stuff out at that point because stuff is said by the artist that I perhaps wasn't. Yeah, I was sort of pushing on a bit too much when I should have just lent on them to say stuff.
Yeah,
with reactions and position.
Yeah. Also, sometimes if the artist changes, if they've read a way a character reacts slightly different than the way you meant it, because there's a kind of ambiguity in the text. And you go, hold on, I didn't think of it like that. That's a really interesting. And then you sort of am I
going to change it or not? Yeah.
It's interesting. It's just the joy of making the comics, man. It's so fucking.
I mean, I because everything I do is collaborative, apart from when I write prose and stuff. But so I think I do it more than you too, because everything I do relies a lot of the time on you too. So it's an interesting dynamic. It really is. And I don't think you should work where you don't know. I know historically some of the greatest comics ever made have come out this way, but I think they're missing a trick. They're certainly missing some enjoyment. But I know that famously Sinnott and Kirby never met, did they? Until years later. It's incredible.
Interesting. Yeah. I've always spoken to my sort of collaborators. It's honestly the best thing about working on a comic is be able to bounce stuff off of people and talk to them. And
look at us without the boob jokes. What happened?
Yeah.
Well, they'll be back pretty soon. But in a month. In a month. Hell yeah. Wow. But before that goodness, we're in the festive spirit with the first episode of December. This is the first episode of December, isn't it? Yeah. It is. It is. And what do you want to get for the comics loving people in your life, or perhaps people that you want to buy gifts for but haven't yet gotten into comics? Well, we answer all of those questions and more right now, don't we, chaps?
We do.
Yes.
Right, as we get ready for the Christmas festivities, we're all probably excited about the possible comics prezzies that we could be reading on the big day, or that we could be getting for other people. It's nice to buy comics for other people, isn't it, chaps?
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I love Christmas, so it's exciting.
Yeah, you're very into Christmas. That's something we'll probably discuss more. Yeah, it was really strange because love.
Don't.
You use the word anyway. But as always, we like to look at what to get. Gifts for the loved ones or the friends or for anyone who likes comics, or maybe introduce them to comics or anything around the Christmas period. And who better than to draft someone in from a great comic book shop to, give us some actual valued advice rather than us going, buy and Watchmen. No, I wouldn't say that. But joining us this week is our pal Andy from Secret Identity Comics. Welcome back, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me again. Lovely to see you all.
Good to see you, man. We've been admiring your clean floor all day.
Hell yeah.
You got to check out his Instagram to know what we're talking about. We don't just admire other people's floors. Well, we do probably. But,
You've no idea how hard that fucking floor is on a day like today. It's been shit weather all weekend.
Yeah.
You've got a nice white clean shop as well.
Yeah.
If I had to do it all again,
mud, don't they?
black floor, black walls.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Black Heart.
Yeah.
Black Heart Comics, that's what it would be.
That's brilliant.
That's
the sister store.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the extension out the back.
Yeah. But obviously it's always great to catch up and see what you've got on the weekly basis and the stuff that comics that you're pimping, both
Thank you.
Mainstream and indie and small press and stuff like that. But as we get to this sort of the gifting time of year, I mean, you could say that all year is gifting time of year, but it's the focus around this time of year in December, etc. What's that like for you as an independent comic book store?
Buy comics.
Hustle, man.
More. Buy more. That's it. That's all I pretty much do. I just stand outside like an old school tout. Come and see, y'all.
But it's the enthusiasm, man, that sells, I think, sometimes. When you're talking about the comics and all that sort of thing.
I mean, it's been a bit of a funny time because it's only the beginning of Christmas has snuck up on me somehow, as it does every year.
Yeah.
And I've had my first couple of desperate shoppers this weekend, and they're the favourite. They come in, they're stressed, they're harassed, they just drop bags on the floor and just say, I don't know what he's got, but it's got Batman in it. Okay. Watchmen.
Like the rest of every other comic that DC do these days.
So you do get an uptake in people who aren't comic book store people, but they're buying for someone else. You do see a lot more of them around.
Yeah, it's weird. So last Christmas we'd only been open a couple of months, so it wasn't a real Christmas. This is the first real Christmas, so I don't really feel educated to sort of say to you what typical is. But what's happening so far this year is the same as what happened last year. I've seen a drop-off in the number of regulars walking through the door. The regulars that are walking through the door are buying their pull and not hanging around as long for the extras.
Okay.
And now I'm seeing the bit where, I'm getting a couple of messages on Instagram from their partners saying, Dave comes in a lot. I know any ideas. So last year I kind of felt I was getting, this sounds awfully coarse, but I was getting... I was getting the same money from the same household to different people, if that makes any sense. And it feels like, but today I've had a big drop off in that, and I've had a lot of people I've never seen before, which is exactly what you want at this time of year. Yeah. Do you know what? Ask me next year, and I'll be able to tell you what Christmas in a comic shop's like. But for now, buy more comics.
It's almost like this is the first full proper Christmas experience.
Exactly that. Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like I'm learning on the go here. I feel like I think I knew what I was doing, and I keep learning I don't.
Yeah, every day's a school
So what did you think it was going to be like then? You must have had some sort of...
Yep. I was expecting it to be busier with foot traffic, despite the rubbish weather.
Yeah.
And the rubbish weather, especially on a Sunday, you can see it if you look at my numbers and things. And I was expecting to sell more gift vouchers than I have done so far. I was not expecting to sell as many kids' books as I have done. So it's the action's happening. It's just not quite where I predicted it. So I'm off tomorrow. So I'm going to sort of tidy up my order sheets and sort of recalibrate a bit of thinking. But it's an interesting time.
I guess it's going to be interesting between Christmas and New Year, because I know you're open apart from the bank holidays, you're open all the way through, aren't you?
That's the plan. Yeah, that's right. Did that last year too, just to see what would happen. And again, I could look back on those numbers, but I don't think they mean anything because I was such a new business. So this year, I'm just going to work as much of it as I reasonably can, bearing in mind I've got a family and stuff like that. And then next year, I can be a bit more educated about it.
Yeah. So the first year is like the marker, isn't it? Okay, here's where we start at, and then take it from there.
I guess it's an interesting one this year because if you go sort of 5 or 6 years back, there would have been a big movie, Marvel or DC movie out around now. But I'm not seeing. Is there anything out there that's hitting guys? Is there an anime that I'm missing or something?
No. The movies are kind of dead in the water around Christmas.
They don't seem to translate to the comic stars anyway, do they? Really?
What's the Wicked thing? Are there Wicked comics? I don't know.
There isn't. No, there isn't.
That's a missed opportunity.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
There's an Oz one on Kickstarter that's doing really good numbers, and it's kind of like a spicy.
You got the Scotty Young Oz stuff as well, haven't you? I guess.
Yeah, but that's not really. It's completely different audience, isn't it? You know.
Yes.
I mean, I think even if you go try and tap in, you know, to do like Scotty Young's Oz, and you know, a theatre lover's Wicked, that is to bridge that gap is a massive thing.
Yeah. Is the sequel any good, Dan, or is it?
I wouldn't know. I've not. Unlike yourself, I've not even seen the first one.
Here we go. Back to last week. Fish fingers going on again.
I'm told it's very good.
Yeah.
My daughter's seen it and she rated it, so there you
go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, as long as people enjoy it, that's the main thing. But you know, even things like I think the new Avatar is out this Christmas around then or something like that. And of course, I think probably the closest thing we'll get to comics is some sort of Dark Horse tie-in to Stranger Things. That's the closest we'll probably. Is it Dark Horse that are doing that? I don't know. But you know,
it doesn't feel like there's anything big comics-wise happening in the run-up to this type of market. I mean, there's the existing things which are hitting quite big, like your Absolute Batmans and things. But I can't think of. I mean, last year they did a run of. Do you know what? I'm just thinking. Last year they did a run of Christmas comics. DC did like a Batman Saves Santa Claus or something like that. Silent Night with a K, obviously, of course it was. And I don't think they're doing that this year.
Are they doing a treasury of an old reprint of the DC Heroes at Christmas thing?
Could be.
I think that might be right.
Could be.
But it's not exactly current. It's Kurt Swan Superman, you know. Like...
Seasonal stuff doesn't shift for me. It's like the Halloween stuff. And the Halloween stuff, I've learned a lesson because it's got Halloween written on it. It's only good for like a week.
Right.
And if you don't sell it in that week, it's in November. Halloween is like, oh, that's a comic that didn't sell then. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
And people don't gravitate to it. I don't know why that is in my shop so far.
I feel, especially when it comes to like gifting and stuff like that, people aren't really going to get someone a Christmas comic. But
there's two coming out this week. Do you want to hear what they are?
Go on.
Sure.
You have The Terminator, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yes.
Hey, I've you know what? Despite what I've just said, I've only got one left on the shelf of that.
Right. Okay.
Amazing.
And Vampirella Holiday 2025 special.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've obviously ordered the Joseph Michael Linsner.
Of course you have.
Nothing to say about that.
But it does feel like around Christmas it seems to be, I don't know whether it's the way things were published or just the way that books are being put out. There's more collections that are like, I mean, Battle Beast is the first one that comes to mind. It's only just come out, and now that seems to be hitting just in time for Christmas. There's probably a lot of people who are going to get
Ghost
that.
Machine books coming out. You've got some of the absolutes. I was thinking Absolute Batman Volume 1 still selling well, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Andy?
Yeah. Sold 2 today.
What about
nice.
Those trades? All the Absolute titles are just kind of.
It was so stupid. I know you want to get on topic, but about that, I ordered more. Maybe when I spoke to you guys last, Absolute Batman launched the same week as Secret Identity Comics launched, and I completely
that's right.
I remember you
saying
that.
Yeah.
So this time for the trade, I was like, I'm ready. So I ordered way more of that graphic novel than a shop like mine I expected would need, and I sold out fucking super duper quick, which is brilliant.
Oh, wow.
No complaints.
That's great. Yeah.
But DC let it go out of print, so for weeks no comic shop could get it. I've got 2 suppliers, and they were both completely bare bones on it, nothing. And I've only just got it back in time for Christmas, which is what matters. And I've got quite a lot of it. Again, the Absolute Green Lantern comes out next week, and we've had Superman and Wonder Woman. Both of
the Martian Manhunter's come out. Is that?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
and
you're right.
Yeah.
No, and that's another good thing they're doing. In fairness to DC, they're releasing the hardback and the paperback on the same day.
Yeah, I like to get the JSA hardbacks. I'm collecting them. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they've started doing that, and then that people choose, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, have you seen in terms of like what do people prefer? Do you think? I guess if you sold out of everything, it doesn't really matter. But
in paperback.
Right.
And that's budget. I mean, it's £6 cheaper, and people want to. I think an awful lot of people. I don't know, maybe because it's so new, people want to read it. People actually are really hyped for it. I'm getting loads of people in still who are new comics readers who have seen it on TikTok or their mate or blah blah blah. And so they don't need it to look nice on the shelf. They want it in their hands.
Yeah, and if they say from the annual as well, didn't you? The annual was hot stuff.
Oh mate, I sold out of that. Sold out of that in less than a week, and I'd ordered way more of it than I did even for normal.
Nice. Good news, man. Good news. Yeah. What's the bestseller at Marvel at the moment? I'm guessing Ultimate Spider-Man still. Is it doing well, or?
No, just anecdotally, and it's just my experience. So, but I mean, Marvel's in the toilet.
Yeah, we keep hearing that, man.
Next level. I mean, since I could go on for all day, and you haven't got time. But I mean, my ASMs have dropped like a stone. People dropping off my pull list for ASM. It's like that, like it's bloody.
Since the recent reboot?
No, they came up. No. When the reboot happened, people were pumped.
Issue 1 was hot stuff, wasn't it?
John Romita Jr.'s gone. Sorry, but it's true. We got a new boot. Within 5 issues, back to status quo. JRJ was back. They just started dropping it.
Right.
And they do the same thing. They go back to the status quo as quick as they can. It's like
and so the whole thing feels very cynical. It felt like we know this needs an injection of life.
I kind of feel about the X-Men universe as well, man. It just needs they need to just wipe their mouths and fucking start again.
I mean, it's backseat driving, but we need another Age of Apocalypse. And by that, I don't mean another one of that story, because they've milked that gold mine fucking dry. But what I mean is, that came along and it was like, all the X-Men books, forget them. This is the only thing you're getting at that time. And it was such a fucking seismic, what the hell is this?
Well, they're doing that now, man.
Yeah. They're not, though.
They're not selling them, but they're doing that.
Yeah. But is it the same? Is it going back to the well again rather than
a little bit?
Totally.
It's got to be something new.
There's got to be an event like Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, there's got to be an event like that. That's just like, okay, everything that you had before, scratch it, because this is the only thing you can be able to have.
To be fair, it's an event like that.
They don't seem to. Yeah.
The Ultimates dropping off in 2 more issues, I hope, is the sign of them actually trying to do something bold.
Yeah.
And reinvent things, because that makes no sense to cancel the only line that actually sells unless they've actually got a plan.
Yeah, I'm worried about that they're not. I'll tell you what I read today and I thought was outstanding was Infernal Hulk. It was a beautiful issue, man.
Yes. Do you know what? And Nova was really good too.
Oh, I've got that. I'm ready yet. Yeah. Okay.
It's just fun. If you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, it's basically the same script writer could have done that.
You're like Infernal, Vince, because you were talking about Nick Klein the other day on the last run.
Yeah,
he's back on
that Age of Monsters run, which I've just sort of discovered.
Yeah, this is
really
that
liked.
time. This is that on crack. It really is.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice. My favourite book of the week so far.
That's the thing is, like, we don't hear about those because so much noise is spoken about the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, PKJ's just signed a contract with Marvel now, so he's permanent with Marvel. And I liked what he did on Superman with the War World stuff. I've met him a few times. Fucking really like him. So I'm hoping he's going to be doing some good things.
Yeah. You're right about that. No, they do some great titles. They do actually do some great titles, but all of the weight is behind the other stuff. The dross. I shouldn't say dross. I'm supposed to be neutral. I have no favourites. But yeah, you're right.
Mate, I mean, how much I loved Red Hulk.
Yeah,
and it ended at 10 issues. And
it's interesting. It's brilliant. It's interesting as someone who is now a sort of bystander fan of Marvel. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the crowd just watching what's happening over the street rather than being involved in it, and stupidly having opinions about things that I know nothing of. But if if there was anything that I'm seeing in terms of marketing, all I ever hear or see is like this about the X-Men title, this about that X-Men title. It seems there's a lot of X talk, and it feels like the titles that I would really like you say, Tony, guys, like the Infernal Hulk and stuff. I'm not hearing about that. So all I'm hearing is one sort of bit that isn't working, and then I'm like, oh, Marvel's really not working anymore, is it? In truth, there's stuff that I would like, isn't there?
There's some stuff there, like I've always said it. There's some stuff I'm really enjoying at Marvel. I think DC is ahead, but then again, DC's ahead because they got Batman. 3/4 of their titles seemingly have some kind of back connection to them these days.
But also, they hadn't. The Absolute line has just been a juggernaut of a success that I don't think they were hoping for, but they couldn't have expected.
Well, they've got Vertigo coming back. That'll be an interesting time, Andy. Because I mean, anecdotally, I read something years ago that said that the UK kind of kept Vertigo afloat because it was much more our tastes in the 90s compared to the US, who wanted superheroes.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see where they go with it. Be nice to see a bit of a British invasion on it.
Yeah. I'd like to think there's a lot more of a taste of that kind of material now in like America 2025.
Yeah, I think there is.
The kind of comic reading audience is a lot more kind of broad as opposed to just superheroes, and I would like to think there's an audience for it.
I think the problem with it is there's so many other Vertigos out there. That's the problem, I think, now.
Yes, you're right. There is.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
if
need
you
to
want
be really original.
Really off-kilter stuff, you can find that. It's through small press or indie stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess the whole sort of all the rumours about Mark Millar that you sent today, Dan, and the Warner Brothers buyout and the Netflix insurgency, and if it happens and all this sort of thing, we don't really know what's going on, will we?
Could not call how that's going to play out.
Yeah. I was talking about this in the shop today, right? This is a long game thing. We'll see. Within about 5 years, DC being owned by Image or Dark Horse or a conglomerate of some description.
Interesting. Do you reckon they might get sold off as assets?
Yeah, the bigger these kind of the mother company gets, with they're eating their own young all the time, bigger.
Yeah.
There's only a matter of time before I could have well imagined something like DC being just like, the office at the end of the corridor. Who actually works there? Yeah. And everyone's happy with it until they need to show increased profits, so they're going to have to cut costs. And I think this would be good for us. Where it, maybe, these characters could go back to being sort of, imagine going back to the 80s where it was a smaller concern.
Well, that's what I want. I want everyone else to leave us alone for a while.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a couple of years. I just want the movies and TV series just to sort of drift off, and we just concentrate on making original comics for comics' sake.
Could go to that license thing, like they just license the characters out. Like,
well, I mean, I think
Alex Ross says, I want to do a Batman book, and then they say, oh, okay.
Well, we got that bit with the Fantastic Four, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. You like that model, just doing that.
I mean, I really, I wish the best for the big two companies. I wish the best for them because that's my heart and soul.
They're like our parents.
Yeah.
And,
and there's a lot of creators.
We love them, but I wish they'd fuck off.
Yeah. They can't tell me what to do. I really know that there's people, even if it's not for me, there's a lot of people who are trying their hardest and doing something that they really believe in, even if the comics aren't working and stuff like that. But I think there's a real danger of, it's been happening over the past 10 years, that these two institutions for us are now IP farms. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's all it is. They're just characters that they can take and just use in things and be background characters and blah, 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 blah. So I hope in the next 10 years they are still here as we know them to be as publishers.
I'm sure those characters still will be. I don't know in what form. Yeah, I couldn't tell you how it's going to play out.
Yeah. I think we need to start thinking about making comics for everyone. We need to start thinking about making comics that sell. We need to think about making comics that aren't just getting your mates involved.
Yeah.
And, coming up with a cool idea.
There's that Jim Shooter fucking meme that was going around. Like, oh, sorry, your title's only sold 500,000. It's getting cancelled or something.
Yeah.
Now it's all those days. You sold 4,000. Don't worry, we can do better next time. Do you want another X-Men title to read?
Yeah. Oh dear. See, we knew, Andy, as soon as you came on, it was like, right, okay, I'm going to dust off my soapbox. Yeah. But of course, like, it is the festive period. We should be positive about this. So obviously, I mean, what is the deal at this important time of year? Just briefly to go back to Absolute Batman. What is the deal with stuff like these big titles that could be selling big numbers. And of course, you said they're sort of out of print. Have you got more of them? Are you going to be able to have stock of stuff like that?
Yeah, so they did sort it out. I mean, to be fair, I think they were short-sighted and they sold more of them than they had expected to.
Yeah.
And it just took longer than I would have expected them to get them back into print. I don't actually know the mechanics of it. Maybe they did an absolute blinder and they halved the time it should take. Fair enough, but
make people hungry for it or something. Yeah, as well.
I guess they have their projections, don't they? And sort of like, we think we're going to sell X amount of units, and then if you get 2 or 3 times that amount, you're like, oh, fuck, we didn't. Because I presume they're printing in the US and shipping over as opposed to printing in the UK.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the lead time is going to.
They could also be like someone sort of saying, "Well, we sold really well on the individual issues. We probably won't have as many people getting the collections if they've already read it." But
I think there's also the market to be considered about reprints of the issues. So Absolute Batman 1 has been reprinted with different covers. What, about 20 times or something? Not just the variants. 9 is it? Not just the variants that came out at the time. This is, they keep reprinting it as we go along.
They've just announced 10th.
Is it really? Wow.
Jeez. I mean, and I'm ordering that next week. Next week I am ordering Absolute Batman issue 1 again for the 10th time.
But
this time.
The back issue cover price, I follow back issues on this cover price app I use, and it's fucking through the roof. That and the annual are the 2 big investments at the moment.
I've got both of those.
Good one. There you go.
Look at the shit he's angry on Dad's face.
How are the other Absolute titles doing in comparison to Batman?
I think Wonder Woman's doing quite well, but nowhere near as good as Batman in relation from an investment point of view. In relation to sales, I don't know, Andy. What do you think?
It's Absolute Batman by a mile.
Right.
Just for me, Superman's next, probably at about 50% of Batman.
Wow, okay.
Wonder Woman is very close to Superman.
Okay.
And then Flash, Green Lantern and Martian, all equally just a smidge below that. So there isn't much between them at all, apart from Batman, who's head and shoulders
miles ahead. Yeah, okay.
And all of them, even that the lowest of them is still, for me, significantly higher than ASM or.
It shows, doesn't it? It shows it's an easy jumping on point as well. It's that, like, you can start at Absolute now. You can just get on there.
Yeah. I've a couple of, especially the Reddit ones about comic reading and stuff. There's people in there every day asking about, like, I want to get into comics, and Absolute Batman's virtually the number one response to people.
Oh, is it?
asking.
Okay.
I mean,
perfect segue there, Dan, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, that is going to be like one of the big gifting ones of the year, isn't it? I think that, along with a lot of collections, but with it being the Christmas season, we did this last year, didn't we, Tony? We figured out there's 3 sort of case studies.
It's our third version of this, I think. Yeah.
We've got sort of case studies, these hypothetical people that you're going to buy a gift for or something like that, and then we're just gonna off to the races in terms of discussions and suggestions. Of course, keep the conversation going on Slack, on the Instagram, on anywhere. But I'm looking forward to. We've got 3 quite different people to shop for this year. So, Tony Esmond, you're going to kick us off, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to start with probably the most unusual one. And I think the reason for this is it is massively an homage to a mate of mine at work. All right? Yeah. A mate of mine at work, he is from the same country as we're about to discuss. He's over here working like Billy O, lovely guy. And I said to him, he said, "What do you do in your spare time, Tony?" And I said, "I like comics." And he didn't know what one was.
Okay.
All right? But a very intelligent dude, massively open to it. So I thought, let's use him as the first example. So let me just read what we got.
This one. Yeah.
It was a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
I got loads to say. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. No, you're right. Yeah. And I think I might make you right on what you're about to say as well. So I've changed his name. Pardon me. Sarbaz is from Afghanistan. He's been in the UK for a couple of years, and he previously worked as a translator for the Red Cross. So has great English language skills, as good, probably if not better than me. A colleague has told him how much fun comics are, and he's keen to check something out. He comes into your shop. What do you recommend? Okay. No, I'm just going to give a little preamble because I think I might be in sync with you, Andy. So there's a lot to consider here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are cultural sensibilities, I would say here. For example, one of my main go-tos for anyone who hasn't read comic is Preacher. Now, Preacher is so sort of Christian/Catholic centric. I don't think he'd get the cultural touch points in it.
Fair enough.
Not American superheroes. I'm sure that he has had enough of Americans. God bless them. But,
swooping in to save the day.
Yeah. So I'll give you my one first, and we'll go to Andy. But I went for something that was long running, has a personal, almost one might call it a soap opera element to it, and one that if he gets hooked on, if he enjoys it, there's a lot of one issue, one shots, and there is an ongoing you can read. So mine was the Hellboy and BPRD universe, is where I went with mine.
Okay.
High craft, excellent craft with it. Magnolia knows what he's doing. He gives comics to other people to read. There's some soap opera there. There's a rich history. There's loads, and you can jump in at just different points in BPRD and Hellboy. You don't need to know a backstory. That's my one. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, so this one made the dinner table at my house.
I
completely overthought this one because I was thinking like, okay, so the Afghanistan thing can't be overlooked, and it's in the question. And so there's a temptation to instantly think about that. And then my daughter made the point, well, just because you're from Afghanistan doesn't mean you can't like Star Wars or something simpler. So I've kind of hedged my bets, and I've gone with two things, which I know is not in the spirit of
No, it's fine. No rules.
That's fine.
First of all, I've gone, okay, so he's relatively new to the UK, and I mean the word fun is the co-worker said they were fun. So what is fun but also reflective of Britain? And so I'm gonna suggest a book called Flake by Matt Dooley, which is very, very British, and it's about an ice cream salesman who a rival comes onto his patch and he's not very able to deal with it. So I thought that, but my actual instinct is I'm going to suggest, which is a bit standard for me, Saga, because Saga has elements of. I mean, obviously they're lovers separated by war. They're refugees. They're escapees. They're being pursued. It's got, but it's also just a romp, and it's sexy and it's funny and it's violent and it's fun. But there is a basis in our world. It's like quite reflective of our troubled times. So I'm going to go for Saga.
I think the thing with Saga is easy to find. You know you're going to get trade 1. You know you're going to get trade 2. Yep. There's enough of it to keep going. And the nature of Saga is very much when you finish a trade, you want to read the next one immediately, don't you? The way that it's worked, and you can find it. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
for me,
cool.
I can honestly, Saga's one of those ones when someone comes into the shop who, regardless of who they are, and they're an adult and they're lost and they don't know what's what, that's one of my go-tos. Saga. Yeah.
High craft as well. Well made. Yeah.
And I can genuinely hand on heart say it's one of my absolute personal favorites. And when you can actually say that and mean it, that's doing your job, right? So
Excellent. Vince, you've been screwing your face up a little bit. I can see you're in pain with this
one.
No.
I'm thinking. I mean, my first question for every single one of these case studies is, what sort of things do they like? And we're not talking about comics here.
Yeah.
What are you into? And I think sometimes with some of these potentially difficult, the people to shop for, there are constants in this world. There are something that I think there's some things that wherever you are, wherever you come from, there's a couple of things that even if you have differing opinions, you can talk about. Food and music. So I'm thinking music could potentially be an interesting, what music are you into? And there could be, based on that, there are brilliant graphic novels based on actual, also biographical. I think that's a good way to go if they're interested in certain historical figures. There's graphic novels, amazing graphic novels based on certain people. But the idea of sort of a music-based comic or something like that was, I mean, of course, I'm going to be suggesting things that I haven't read properly, so feel free to say, well, I'm not sure about that, but potentially, what about this one? What about Love and Rockets? Now, I thought there's a big one to throw in there.
There's a lot of knobs in that one. That reminds me of that time I handed a vicar that Fury comic, and he opened it on the dead prostitutes page. And I went,
it's like whenever you watch a film with your better half, and then the sex scene comes on, you're like, it's not just this bit, by the way. It's not just this bit. But you know what I mean? Like something that musical comics that will evoke something. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a potential way to go, rather than going into conventional supernatural or these wild crazy things. Maybe something a little bit real worldy that can then, so that they
Love and Rockets is so strange. Yeah. I mean, you haven't read Love and Rockets, have you?
No, I've very skimmed that. It's like skimming the top off your custard. That's the most I've got to it.
The musical content comes and goes. A little bit in that. It's not ever present. And there's a lot of sexual politics. There's a lot of specific Mexican stuff in it. It's certainly a soap opera. I think from something that's if you're into massive boobs, I'm going to say, and who isn't? Let's face it. I'd say it's a good comic. Okay.
But it also depends on the person you're talking to, and I'm not saying you got to size them up, but I mean, obviously, if you can tell that they wouldn't be into that, you don't fucking suggest something like that. Do you know what I mean? You just don't do it.
I will be honest, this friend of mine at work is the only person who sometimes laughs at my jokes. And you know what my jokes are like. So
absolutely perfect. But I think for me, it's introducing someone. You say that brilliant with language. You're introducing them to a new language, and that is the language of comics. Because it is something like, wow, I didn't know.
You got to get your eye in. It takes you a long time to get your eye in with comics.
And you can that's why at first I thought some biographical comics, because it's actually, I've read them and it's gone into my head more because it's in a comic based format. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, I can understand that. But that's me. What do you think, Dan? Because this was a tricky one.
Yeah. This is the trickiest one, I think.
Yeah. Is it the Beano? Is that what you suggested, Dan?
Viz.
I'm not sure
Dan
every single one's going to be the Viz.
The Drunken Bakers, what's this? No, I kind of got caught up when you said he'd never read a comic before. I was like, how can I suggest a title that would be relatively kind of easy for someone to get into? And I stumbled, I'm going to have to hold him out of it. I've not read this book. I've only kind of read about it online. It's a book called The Arrival by Sean Tan.
I've read that. That's a beautiful book. Yeah.
It's very beautifully. I think it's beautiful single images. For me,
comic, it's also it's a silent comic, isn't it?
Yes, I was thinking. So rather than kind of you getting hit up with the word balloons and thought bubbles, even though he's an intelligent chap, it doesn't take much to noodle to read a fucking comic. But the book is about an immigrant's journey. From the blurb, leaving home, arriving in an unfamiliar world, navigating a strange city, culture shock, loneliness.
Okay.
So potentially that might fire off some. I think if I was in Andy's shoes and I was pitching the book to the customer and he saw him do a face, okay, that's not the book for them. But do you know what I mean?
With a book like that, though, I've got two versions of that because there's plenty of different copies of it. I've got a small paperback version and
I've got the oversized hardback.
And it is one of those. You look at it and you don't quite know what it is, and then you open it and then you understand what because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book.
Have any of you guys worked in comics retail?
No, I've helped.
I think
out
you can tell us.
All,
apart from being a convention table, do you want to buy my book?
I've sold. I've done the no-brow table quite a lot. If you see what I mean. So I ran convention tables for no-brow, but that's it. I think. Yeah.
I've done the great time in books retail is when it was after. I'm going to bring up 9/11. It was after 9/11, week after 9/11, and a guy came up to the counter with a book that says "How to Bluff Your Way on the Flight Deck," and he says, "Do you think that's appropriate to be selling in the shop?" And I was, mate, what do you want me to do?
Mate, fuck off.
That's what I was there's thousands and thousands of books here. I can't go through every book and see there's a reference to flying planes.
I imagine Dan was like Daisy from Spaced in that scene where some guys, could you point me to the self-help section? And she turns around and goes, just fuck off.
This is the moment in we're all old men. This is the moment in the episode where we ask Andy, what's the most stupid question you've had in your shop?
Fucking hell.
Do you sell comics?
Have you seen that Instagram video going around with the woman at the fudge stall?
No.
Video. There's like a Christmas market, and she goes up and she's like, all fudge on the stall. She says, "This is Christmas pudding." So yeah, it's Christmas flavoured pudding, fudge. He goes, yeah, but it's not Christmas pudding. She went, no, it's flavoured. And this fucking woman, like, she does it with like five or six different flavoured bars, and this is like, she's like one of them. So
you go, okay,
yeah,
bloody hell.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, Andy. I mean, from behind the till, as it were, you know, how would you go about talking to this guy and sort of finding out what you can in order to, because that's what it is.
I'd say it's fucking fudge.
Don't you have this Afghanistan?
Yeah. No, what I do is I tend to go with, if it was a film, what film would you choose tonight? And then you get the flavour of the person, or you know, some people are deliberately what's the word? Not disingenuous, maybe not deliberately, but they are. So you will ask a question, and clearly you're trying to engage, and they'll kind of say, "I haven't got Netflix." It's like, no, that's not the question I'm actually asking. Okay, so it's the DVDs. What's your favourite DVD at home? I gave them all to a charity shop. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mate, help me out here.
Yeah, generally speaking, I go for film because it's obviously it's visual, it's all the things that comic is. That's where I go.
And immediately brings up genre or type of film, doesn't it? You know, you can just think, oh, you like a drama.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's because
if they're weird.
Yes, I have got a weirdo section.
Excellent.
Nice. In the back room.
Tribute press.
I think maybe one of the problems you might face, Andy, is like you're not getting the person coming in saying, "I've never read a comic book. What would I like?" It's someone coming in saying, "I'm buying a comic book for someone else. What would they like?" And you've got to get what that person likes through the person you're talking to, and they might not know that person at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he really likes fantasy stuff. It's like, I would get him a Dungeons and Dragons comic, and he give it to him. He's like, I fucking hate Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, because the more specific you get, especially with our type of area, is people are very not choosy, but like you say, you can't. A Star Trek fan giving him a Star Wars comic, while an easy mistake to make for a noob, is just like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And it's, you know, because we are picky fuckers, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, the worst one's got to be someone says, my mate, he's really into comic books, gets loads of comic books. I want to get him a present. You're like, oh,
no.
Fuck.
I quite like those ones. With any of these things, because if someone comes into the shop, and this does happen quite a bit, he loves Batman, right? So, well, I don't know, and you don't know what Batman he's got. If he loves Batman, the likelihood is he's got most of these. So we're not going to do Batman. Yeah. We're going to go completely. We're not going to go Marvel because that's too far off range. But we're going to go for Bone Parish, or like a From Hell, or Stray Dogs, and I know they're nothing to do with Batman, but it's a quality story. I can vouch for. That's sort of less likely to be on their bookshelves. There's no point giving them Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns, right? They based themselves.
Like I'm the most difficult person in the world to buy comics for.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, he is. Yes, because he's bought them all.
I get them a copy of Viz every year because it's the annual one.
I know, and it's both the best present in the world and also the worst because it's so fucking easy for him.
Yeah,
every fucking year, and I'm jealous.
Well, Vince is getting an extra special Christmas present this year.
Oh, get 2 copies.
For some reason, I thought his birthday was twice in 1 year, which I know that doesn't happen. So I bought him a second gift. So he's getting that second gift as an
Dan, you're far too kind.
I've got you both a T-shirt, haven't I? I've got you both a Man Trap T-shirt.
Yeah,
ready to give to you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, should we move on to
number 2? We're only
the next
on
one.
2.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's reading that? You, Ovens.
Mate, yeah. Sarah wants to impress. Hello, Sarah. Sarah wants to impress the folks at a book club she's been attending. It's all become a little competitive, and she wants something they'll think is cool. Interesting word, that. She's dipped in and out of comics, but isn't sure what's about at the moment. What do you recommend?
Andrew?
Okay. This one was easiest for me. This was the one, and this is the one I feel most confident in answering. I hope this actually happens in my shop. Animal Pound.
Oh, okay.
Tom King. Peter Gross, right? So it's based on Animal Farm, which her book group most likely will have covered.
Interesting.
But it's an updated take on it in graphic novel form. It's ticking a lot of boxes for Sarah.
Nice.
Oh,
have any of you read it?
No, I've seen it on the periphery.
I recommend it a lot, and I know a lot of like comic fans don't like Tom King, but I do, and it's great. So it's Animal Farm basically, but it's in a pound, and it starts out you've effectively got cats, dogs, and rabbits, and through a set of circumstances they take over the pound, and they lock out their captors, so they become the king of their own castle, so to speak. So they need a boss because the humans are going to come in if they don't organize. So we need a boss. So well, the dog says I should do it. The cats say we should do it. Blah blah. So they say right, we're having an election, and then they say right, well that's not fair because there's a shitload of rabbits because they're always fucking. So of course they're going to win. Okay, so we're going to go by weight. We're going to weight the election, and so before you know it, you've got a Trump figure. I mean, he's drawn like Trump, this dog, and it is our current day politics played out in this analog, which is in a self-contained world. So it is quite charming. At the end of the day, it's quite brutal, just like Animal Farm was.
Right.
I
charming and brutal. That's quite a combination.
That's what they call Dan.
Not so much of the charming, but
yeah. I recommend it, and I recommend it to comics readers and none alike. So I think it would, and also when she takes that to a highfalutin book club, they're going to be like, "Oh, I didn't expect that."
Cool. Can I go with mine next?
Yeah.
Mine. Like, I think this was my second easiest one. I've gone with Persepolis.
Okay.
Mate, I had that in one of mine and I removed it.
Oh, did you?
Nice work.
Okay.
It's going to be for the first guy, and I thought, no, that's too on the nose.
Oh, yeah. It's by Marhan Satrapi. It's about her life living through the Iranian Revolution. There's 2 volumes to it, 1 and 2. And I think she ends up in... I can't remember where she ends up. Is it Germany after that? Can't remember. But it's about Iran, which is massively relevant again at the moment. We're seeing Iran back in the headlines, aren't we? It has a current issue. There's a bit of the current about it. We're getting a lot of talk about headscarves and the big change that happened in her country. It's well made. There's a little bit of a bragging right about it because it's very sort of, I hate the phrase right on, but it is quite sort of politically relevant, and it's award winning. And also, if they're lazy, there's a movie. So there's a bit of everything there, and they probably will have heard about it if they're sort of, your sort of Radio 4 Guardian crowd, I would say.
Yeah.
That's my one. Vincenzo?
I mean, it's always interesting to know what the book club are into or what they're reading.
50 Shades Grey.
50, yeah.
I'd be well tempted to stitch her up and see we won't get any return customs, so
yeah. I think for me though, I don't know why, but my first thought was Kent State.
Oh, okay.
That's a highly effective. I mean, I did have that on a short list with Monsters. But that was purely because
Monsters is a long, dry read.
Yeah. So I took that one away because I think Kent State is profoundly moving, but is because of back death, sort of like you've almost got their through line of what was the first one? The Dharma. What was the name of that book?
My Friend Dharma.
My Friend Dharma. So you've got that sort of through line as well, so there's something that they may have heard.
My Friend Dharma's not a bad shout.
Yeah,
with a sort of interest in murder podcasts and stuff like that.
But that sort of that cartooning mixed with something that's very real, I think it makes his stuff sort of easy to read, but also it gets through to you in a way that, because I think a lot of people who don't read comics, you can't give them something like a Black Sad, for instance, which we could say. It's one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. The Black Sad books are just some of the most gorgeous, they're wonderful noir storytelling. You're not going to give that to this book club because they won't.
I kind of feel like they turn their nose, and they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I agree. It's the top of the craft in many ways, isn't it? But
the book club thing really was the thing for me. I was like,
I think that's what sort of flavoured the sort of these choices that each of us have picked so far. I mean, Dan, what's your pick?
Well, as soon as you said book club, I was like, Alison Bechdel. Like, let's see what books would go down well. Yeah. And I googled it. She's got a book that's just come out called Spent. Graphic novel. I couldn't tell you whether that's good or bad. But
I've never read a book by her. I own Fun Home, and I've never cracked it open. Yeah.
There's I think I ordered that on eBay, and it turned up. It's like in the pile. I've not ever read it.
I hear it's great. I just haven't got to it.
What about the opportunity to suggest why don't 1 week you all do one of the classics, but it re-envisioned? And when I mean classics, I mean a literary classic, because there's been a graphic novel of like a Frankenstein. There's probably Wuthering Heights. There's been Hamlet. There's been all of this stuff. Yeah. It's like, why don't you take a classic from literature, but see what it does here? I think that would be quite interesting for those sort of people.
Yeah, like I think kind of
those things can be quite dry, so you'd have to pick a really good one.
Yeah, a lot of things you kind of seems to get you rewrite it, where it gets written off.
Bible.
You you think you know it, but actually when you go down and read it and break it down, it's like actually there's the reason this is hung around and it's a big deal is because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of layers.
Yeah. I think the thing is, there's a lot of auto-bio is the coolness, isn't it? It has been for about 10 years, I'm going to say. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't bring because it's not, the quality isn't there, but there's a lot of stuff that I would. And I think that auto-bio thing, I kind of think that a book group, I've got an image of mine as a sort of Hampstead book group or something, which isn't, I didn't really communicate very well, but the cool situation, I wanted someone who was looking for something that's cool, and auto-bio comics are that at the moment.
Yeah. I do also think this is a hardcover group. Do you know what I mean? When they get it, you want a nice little. Do you know what I mean? A graphic novel feels like it doesn't feel like a novel. Even a paperback novel. Do you know it has a certain feel? A graphic novel, a paperback novel, is a bit flimsy. Whereas if you get something that feels like a real book, they'll immediately think, "Oh, it's a real book." It's that sort of
the bookshelf validation thing. That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
They probably give a shit about like what the Observer says about it and.
Stuff God, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll just bring Savage Sword of Conan.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah's been in and out of comics, so she's aware anyway. So she's got some idea.
Of Sarah.
Oh yeah, Sarah. Come on.
Good. I brought down this comic, Savage Dragon. Oh, what's this about? It's like a profession, sort of like.
It's Savage Dragoon, actually, Dan.
Yeah. I particularly like this page where she's sent flying by a plume of sperm. One of my favourite moments.
It's a satirical take on American superheroes and over-sexualization and violence.
Yes,
we're fighting the man with this.
I mean, look at the
plume of sperm.
Yes, look at the noughts on that.
I love Savage
Dragon. It was almost like quite a serious topic that we had back then, and then it just
in our brains we're all thinking how we would behave if we were at this, sort of milfy book group, wouldn't we? That's where we're sitting now. Yeah,
I don't think you would behave by the sounds.
I don't think I would. No. I don't think I'd be allowed in, Andrew.
No.
Yeah.
But the doorbell rings on the door. I don't know if you got a doorbell, Andy. And Brian comes in, and he says, "I'm at my brother's family for Christmas." And I have no idea what to get the twin nieces for a gift. They're 8 years old and have been brought up on fantastical stories by their parents. What do you recommend?
Hold on. He's the first one that actually Dan was a character. Then he became. Did you see? He disappeared.
I'm totally confused. I didn't realise you cheated into the next character.
He disappeared into Brian. Not the first time.
Hey.
I'm still living it.
Homophobic joke. I think it wasn't,
Daniel.
Well, it wasn't homophobic at all. No. If anything, it was very pro.
Homoerotic, if anything.
Exactly. I mean, I'm there. Oh, I'm not there. Oh.
I don't know.
Here you go. Give him a minute. Poor old Brian. He just wants to get a present for his nieces.
Sorry,
Brian. He's looking around the shop now.
I'm going to be the pro here and put us back on the rails.
Thank you.
Someone has to.
I am going to recommend. I'm eager to go first because it feels like it's so obvious that I want to get there because I bet one of you three's got it. Bone.
Okay.
Bone.
Ah, yeah, good one. Good.
The colour version?
Do you know what? Yes, because of the target.
Okay.
Receiver.
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
I'm quite fond of the black and white one, but Bone is all ages. I mean, I gave that to my daughter when she was about 7, 8, and she read it, and she's read it loads, and she's still got it, and I read it. Not with her, and with her. Bone's brilliant. Bones
is excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
There's one bit in the first issue which I wish wasn't there, but which is where it suddenly it threatens to turn saucy.
Okay.
Where Thorn is bathing, and I was like, why did you put that in there, Mr. Smith? But other than that,
he didn't foresee the library money coming at him at that point, did he? I guess. Yeah.
I hadn't got the Scholastic deal at that point.
Yeah.
But Bone's great, and I think it's a safe bet for.
There's such energy, such.
Yeah.
You got to keep reading Bone. The kids will be excited about it. You know. Yeah, definitely.
It's another one now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Easy for me, Hilda. Very similar.
Yeah.
For the reason that there's now new Hilda books coming out. There are some Hilda prose books when they get a little bit older.
Yep.
There's sort of guides for Hilda. There's toys for Hilda, but also there's this through line of what sort of 6 books now I think it is at this point of like just exciting. It's a girl of a specific age which is good for them, having adventures, being very sort of independent, and then also you can also say to them, oh, did you know there's a cartoon as well? And imagine their excitement when they're like, Boxing Day, when they're driving you nuts, and they get, oh, bloody hell, there's a cartoon as well on Netflix.
Because you get one book, the other one another book, and then they can swap when they're done.
Yeah, and then they can ask immediately for the next one. And I think Luke Pearson's series there is outstanding. I really do think it's a work of art. Yeah. And as you worrying, I worry. I'm a man in his late 30s, and I worry about Hilda all the time.
Well, I think with both that one and Bone, they're definitely they're sort of all ages books, but totally written in a way that doesn't look down to children. It doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It's like children truly understand that there are stakes and there's dark. They understand darkness as well in a way. I mean, we all fucking loved films in the.
It's quite scary. But Bone can be a little bit scary, but so can Hilda.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think Goosebumps is massive? Do you know what I mean? Because kids love to be scared, and they love monsters, and they love the fantasy of it all. It's not all, It really, when people dumb down things for kids, it just gets. But taking that, the stakes, and putting a little twist on it. I mean, it's an easy go-to for me. I think anything from the Phoenix lot, but Bunny versus Monkey or anything like that.
Mate, that's what I was going to say.
It's just an absolute anything by Jamie Smart. He's just it's
simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's funny. It's one of those it's almost the Simpsons method. The kids will laugh, and the adults will laugh at something else. Do you know what I mean? It worked, and it's just brilliant. I mean, there's a reason that guy's getting the flowers that he is, and he has been over the past few years, and he's just taken off because, and the parents also they love getting it for their kids as well. It's been an absolute smash over the past 5 years, isn't it? Just go.
Who's the bloke who played Bane in the Batman movie?
Tom Hardy. I saw a picture.
Did you see that picture of him holding one?
Yeah. So Bunny versus Monkey, and all of those ones. And
popped onto the Phoenix site, and loads of them are sold out.
Are they?
Yeah.
From that site.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, even that, if Bunny versus Monkey isn't that sort of flavour, I think the Phoenix have a murderer's row of collections of fantasy
just
stories.
Just get me a year's subscription to that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
is that something you have at Secret Identity, Andy? You have you got much of that, or is it go out the door quickly?
Phoenix?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I need to get on that.
Right.
I mean, the Phoenix, because quite a few of my younger customers have it on subscription, right? It's a postal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Bunny versus Monkey and all that. No, I've got your Hildas and your Bones and Investigators and Dogmans and all sorts.
Right.
But I feel I'm missing a trick there.
Yeah, because I mean, they're one of those ones that there's usually a big representation of them in your Waterstones, isn't there? Guys, the Phoenix have got that down pat, and they've got, because they've been going for quite a few years as well. You've got quite a few collections that you can get on board with, which is quite cool.
Seems to motor through them. There's books coming out of them all the time.
Yes,
crazy.
All the time. Yeah, they've got a really good publishing model, I think. The Phoenix. Well, hopefully it's going from strength to strength. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Because they're doing great books. But I think I don't know what the Phoenix are like getting their books into the hands of independent booksellers. I mean,
I mean, no one's outreached me, but then very, 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 very few publishers are in any way proactive.
Mate, that was one of my things at Nobrow. I genuinely had this at Nobrow, where I used to ring up every comic shop or visit every comic shop in the country and say, why haven't you got more Nobrow books in? And I think the companies need to do it more. They really do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I completely do.
Yeah.
I've not had any outreach. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah.
Apart
Not
from
even Rebellion
indie
or
comics people's.
Yeah.
Rebellion. No, not at all. But I am quite small fry, so I understand it. But no, it's up to me, and I try to diversify my range as much as I can.
But saying that, man, comics has got such a bizarre.
Space.
Comics is such a bizarre model, where they should be fucking,
beating down
coming around
and
and
on the shelf.
giving you a cuddle regularly. You're selling their books for them.
Oh, I agree.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, in any other industry, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know whether it must be resources. It's a lack of manpower. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And you have to go to, as a supplier, you have to go to feed your shop.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine if you reached out to 2018 and said we love 2018 and you showed us some posters, they'd probably sell them, wouldn't they? They'd probably send them over, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? And I suppose it's as much to me to put myself on their radar as otherwise. But yeah.
And I think I'll go around their office. They're just around the corner from me.
Yeah.
Southwark, the 2000 AD.
They're in Oxford now, babes.
Whatever that place is around the corner from me.
That's why they're not answering you, Dan.
Sir, we have told you this is a Greg's.
I want the comics.
Yeah, I think also, it's that double-edged sword as well, isn't it? Like the internet and emails and stuff has made everything so much easier in so many different ways, but it's made a lot of things so much more impersonal. So some of these publishers they'll just send out an email blast, and then it's up to the shops. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes there is less of a connect between the publisher.
There needs to be more now. What with sales of some of them not being great, there needs to be more now. I think that's where I see it.
I was surprised when I was opening up. I'd expected more outreach from all levels of it, be it Diamond, Gardeners, all of these things. And the only one that does in any way do anything proactive is Gardeners, who there's a rep who, they drop me an email or give me a call every other month. Everything all right with your last order? It's which
that's
I
good,
respect.
man.
And Gardeners is
a book supply. Yeah. They do. I mean, Waterstones is their biggest client, but they're just they're like Diamond for books.
Yeah. We used to present to them at No Brow. Yeah, we used to go and see them.
They seem fairly switched on.
Yeah,
they seem pretty switched on. Yeah.
But it's interesting times. I mean, the next few years is interesting times. It's always interesting times for comics over the next few years, isn't it? But in terms of your Joe Blogs comes in from the street. There's the go-to absolute Batman's insert big name comic here. Do you ever, if they're open to it, see the opportunity to suggest something new that they try something? Because we're always about trying something new. Have you upsold successfully many times in your store?
Because I know you almost have your weekly. This is what's out this week. Do you ever pick anything from that as well?
Oh, all the time. No, yeah. I mean, all the time. That's me. It's not easy, but I mean, there's stuff on the shelf. Come and have a look, Vince. Take what you want. That bit's easy.
Yeah.
But engaging you in the conversation and maybe having that, especially as we gain some trust if you come regularly. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And those are the best bits. Those are the fun bits of the job. Putting stuff on the shelf is great, but nothing better than, there's things like Save Now. Save Now has been really popular in my shop, but nobody had heard of the bloody thing. But I did a bit of promotion behind it, and I spoke to some people that I know would be open to it and didn't think I was trying to be a pushy salesman, because that is a fine line. You don't want to be that guy either.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it can become that, the classic.
Yeah.
Would you like a chocolate bar for an extra £1? When you go to the tills and they're trying to upsell that. No, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah.
As I sometimes get embarrassed about it still. I've developed this weird little, I don't even know if it's called a technique, but if somebody wants any type of recommendation, I'll walk them around the shop a little bit, and I won't want to sort of I'll take something out. Maybe I'll flick through Stray Dogs, and then I'll put it back where it belongs, but out. So then I say, look, you might like that one, you might like this one, you might like this one. So then there's 4 or 5 things like poking out, and then I'll say, I'm going to leave you now to have a look through at your own pace, and if I can ask any more, answer any questions, do that. And that's the way
they're looking for your expertise, man. Without being pushy, they're looking for your opinion and
some people
what's good and what's new.
And it's reading the audience, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and also when I like a regular comes in a lot, or just someone who I know likes comics, I will just say, "This is awesome. Did you know this is out as well?" And that's not being pushy. Yeah. That's just highlighting it.
I know, just being good in a shop.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love that
because it's weird. Recently, we keep talking about Batman. I know, but I have a lot of Batman pulls.
Yeah,
the truth.
Yeah,
but this recently, the Batman Green Arrow question Arcadia,
the
miniseries,
Gabriel Hardman book
went under a lot of radar. A lot of no one knew about it, but so I was pointing it out to my people I know, like Batman, saying, "Did you know?" And I don't think that would have sold itself.
Yeah,
I love Gabriel Hardman, man. That's some of the best art in comics. That's a Gabriel Hardman. Yeah.
That's nice.
We're just seeing a lovely Captain Britain there by Gabriel Hardman. That we'll put in the Substack for people to see what we're
I'll send a picture. But yeah, that's kind of a bit of a dramatic return for him, and he knows what he's doing, man. Hardman, he's amazing. Yeah, I love that issue instantly, Andy. I really did. Yeah.
So, has there ever been a case where one of the people visiting your shop has introduced you to a comic?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
What's been some of the highlights? What have been a couple of recent highlights?
I get imposter syndrome all the time. An awful lot of my customers know way more about comics than I do. I was saying to my wife just the other night, I've realised I've got a fairly narrow scope. I think that maybe is not a bad thing. Kid in the candy store and all that.
Yeah.
There's an element of, I keep my head when it comes to ordering. Oh my goodness! Now you're asking. Bone Parish, which I absolutely loved.
That was great.
I didn't even know about it until a customer of mine suggested it to me. Cabbalistics, which is
the 2000 AD book.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. Someone lent me a copy.
I think that's almost 2000 AD doing Hellboy in a bit.
100%.
There's a little bit of the BPRD there, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a lot of Mignola in there. God, so many things. But I think. Oh, do you know what? There's a guy called Andy who's on my pull list, and he's got his finger on the pulse. So when he messages me to add something to his pull list, and he doesn't tend to pull as much like Batman and stuff. He pulls more obscure things sometimes. So when he messages me, quite often it's something I'm just like, and
he's got that from somewhere. He knows what the coolness is.
And I'd completely slept on Beneath the Trees.
Me too, man.
I love that. And it was him that put me onto it. So,
I just finished the second fucking series of Beneath the Trees.
It's a beast, isn't it?
It's fucking great. Yeah. It's a sleeper hit, that, isn't it, really?
The amount, absolutely sleeper hit, yeah.
It's organic as well. What I find is it's sort of in everyone's vision, but no one notices it until one person gets it and then tells someone else and tells someone else. And tells
it's word of mouth hit that one, definitely.
I got to think of a new pitch for that, because I say to every fucker, Richard Scarry when we were in school. Do you guys know Richard Scarry?
Yeah. Lonely Worm.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
But Dan, it's just me and you, mate. It was in my school. It was like, if you're from...
Yeah, it's massive.
I'm from the North Wales coast, and I'm 47 years old. It was my childhood. But nobody else knows about it. Because he drew in that style. Beneath the Trees is almost like riffing on his style from the 70s.
If you Google his name, Richard Scarry, you'll see the images and you're like,
you'll know
that guy.
You'll know it. Right. You'll know it.
If you want a short line, it's Sylvanian Families meets Dexter. It's that.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
I've been going Richard Scarry meets Dexter.
Yeah.
And
I need to...
Sylvanian Families is a great shout, Vince.
Yeah.
I'll go.
It was that bloke or that person who used to do Sylvanian Families as if they were serial killers. Do you remember that years ago? They did little images every so often.
Oh, I've just Googled it and that Richard Scarry, and that's what it is. Yeah. But that is one of the... I think next year, if there's another series of it, it's going to be fucking massive. What a trilogy.
Is that a media buyout yet? Do we know?
I don't know.
It's got a cartoon written on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Samantha's going to be in DCKO.
No. Fucking what? What? Fucking hell. I tell you what, you made it in comics though when you get a Fortnite skin.
Yeah.
That's where the money is. In the
foreskin, what's that?
In the foreskins.
What is it? I don't know what Fortnite is.
What?
It's a very popular video game.
It's a video game. What is it? A fighting thing?
You run around, shoot people.
You run around, shoot people, but you play as characters shooting people. Blah 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 blah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't worry. You don't need to leave your bunker.
That's
for it,
left
Tony.
my brain now.
I'll hold my hand up. I've played Fortnite today for the first time in about a year.
Right.
My son wanted to play it, and I won the first game. What can I say?
Were you a bear?
Right. No. I will tell you. Dan is a very good video gamer. I have never played Fortnite ever, but Dan.
I've never played a video game.
No.
No. Dan.
No, I played Wii tennis with my son once. Does that count?
Oh, that counts.
That's just where we are pissing at each other over a net.
How old am I? I'm 58.
I mean, no Pac-Man or.
I suppose at the seaside I might have played that. Yeah, that counts, doesn't it? Yeah.
Look at you being all modern. So, before we sign you off, okay, to all the people
Just
coming
talk about your shop.
Yeah.
I've not the address out of you yet. Where is it?
Hang on, we can do that.
Oh,
hang on.
Go on.
Sorry, Vin.
Go on. Give us all that. Tony's ruining the sign up. Go on. Give us where you are.
I'm in Chester.
Well done.
Yeah.
There was a big light. There was a run up to that, and it was just
in Chester.
39 Orton, Chester, CH3 5AF. There's 90-minute. There's 1 hour parking outside. It is first come first served, but fear not, because just a short way up the road is the Waitrose, where you can park for 90 minutes without purchase.
Jesus Christ! It was like he had that written down.
I've said that a lot.
But to those people visiting your shop, old, new, whoever it may be, this festive period, what would you suggest? What are some of your highlights you would like to recommend to them right now before we let you go?
Right, depending on the age, I always go to some easy go-tos. If they're in any way interested in superhero stuff, I make sure they've covered the basics, Batman Year One, Watchmen, and so on. If they are familiar with that stuff, they probably know enough about what they like that I can just shepherd them to the newer stuff. But some of my favorite customers are I'm new to it, and I will always take them to some staples. Beneath the Trees now, Stray Dogs, Bone Parish. If they're interested in like the superhero-y stuff, either Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1 or Batman Year 1. I strongly I could sell all day the American Psycho graphic novel, but it's been out of print now, and I cannot get it back in. But it was so easy for people that are adults and they want something, and so Bone Parish has filled that niche because it's very easy to pitch. So yeah,
nice. Well, we hope you have an amazing Christmas, Andy.
We've been enjoying your videos as well, Andy.
Thank you.
Where can they find you?
Follow me. Follow me on. Follow the shop on Instagram and Facebook, and that's about it really. I need to get on top of like TikTok and stuff, but I don't. And as I keep reminding,
70 hours in the day.
But apparently, all you need to do is upload the exact same video to just one more platform. So it's true. It's laziness on my part, and I couldn't explain it more than that. I just something in my mind says TikTok is I should have a problem with it. And I don't know.
Well, apart from you let the Chinese into your phone, other than that, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, we should have a problem with most social media. To be fair, it's all.
My dad sometimes uses my phone.
Oh, does he? Yeah.
He's on my phone sometimes.
So look at it.
Don't look at that history, eh?
No.
Teach him incognito. Jesus. Can I just say, what are the? And I know you're trying to sign off, but what people that listen to your show don't get the benefit of is, I mean, I'm sure they probably all know what you look like, but many people for old school podcast, which is audio, you don't know what the people look like. But I spend, whenever I have anything like this, I just fucking love looking at your rooms or anyone's rooms. I'm so fucking nosy. When I had a normal job, it's like
I'm in the neighbour's room. No, this is my son's bedroom.
In the neighbour's room.
Dan, have you had a cat with you today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
some
fine.
Weird cat in the background.
She's
Yeah.
sleeping in her hood.
Yeah.
All right. So let's stay, guys, sidetrack it, but it's absolutely fascinating.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Andy, because today on the Slack, which you're more than welcome to join, by the way, it's just been a sea of what we look like jokes for about 8 hours today. I've just given them all thumbs up.
People just taking famous trios throughout history and saying, this is them.
I mean, once you reach Last of Summer Wine, yes, I know which one I am, by the way, we've reached peak. That's peak for me. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You're not anonymous, though, are you?
Well, we do drink and draws, and we did tables at conventions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've got some of that coming up in the shouts, and we will shout out Secret Identity Comics every week, man. This has been brilliant, Andy. As always, you've been amazing, and we'll catch you next year to see how Christmas is going. Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you. Thanks for your time. It's been great.
Any time, mate.
So there you go, folks. You got absolutely no reason. There's loads of stuff to put on your wish list there. No matter who
Secret
you are.
Identity Comics, Chester, get there.
Yeah. Seriously, follow them on Instagram, etc. Because Andy and they do great stuff there. Great little shop. And if it's really rainy outside and you go in the shop, then wipe your feet.
Wipe feet.
Yeah, don't walk dirty mud in.
You dirty bastards. No, but in all seriousness.
To see, how he gets on over this Christmas period. Like I said, he's kind of learning from period to period, and
well, I kind of think of all the comic shop owners I speak to quite a lot of marts and in shops and stuff like that. Andy he's got it together. I think he really has.
Man, he listen to him talk there.
Yeah.
And he talks to his customers. That's the most important thing with these people.
But also, which something he highlighted there, he doesn't act like he knows everything. Do you know what I mean? It's not like what I know is right. Is always willing to be like, oh, what's this?
You could read
one?
every comic in that shop and you still wouldn't know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so much going on outside of it.
Yeah. And we've talked
I wish
about...
it was my local shop. I'll be honest with you. I wish
same.
That was
my local
same.
Shop. Yeah. Same. So if you're in the area, please do visit them. And if you're in the... Well, I can't say area. I don't know what the shout-out's going to be. But we're going to shout out some things right now. Right here. Right now. What have we got, chaps? I don't know why I said it so drastically, but
Friday the 12th, 7:30 p.m. Drink and draw. Heard it here, folks. First.
You were doing so well, Tony.
I know. It worked okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We got
there. So we'll be our Christmas drink and draw, and hopefully it will also be celebrating the release of DUI 4.
Hey.
Which is, as I understand it from Simon, has been uploaded, and I think you have to wait a few days before it goes live. On the platform, but do not worry, we will be posting vigorously where it is available. It's really good. We've all read it.
We
got access to it. I really do think it's a good one. I'm very excited.
If you're looking for a Christmas Eve comic, you couldn't go wrong by getting yourself a copy of that.
Or indeed a Christmas present for everyone you know. All the profits from it go to the Cartoon Museum, which is great. A worthy cause. And all three of us are in it. So if you want to support the podcast, in a way, do that, and the money will go to the Cartoon Museum, and we're game for that. Definitely. Nice. My other one is Dan's Monsters, aka Dan the Monster Charnley.
Yes.
Is having a monster sale. Look up Dan's Monsters on Substack and follow the links. There's some OA there for as little as £1.99. Look at that. Did he send you that? Monster
he sent me some as I said last week, he sent me a load of stuff, but there's a lovely sort of watercolor ink wash. It's horrific and I love it.
He sent me like a care package of graphic novels, comics and stuff. Dan, you're a fucking legend. I'd love it. My son is currently doing his mocks for his GCSE art, and he's kind of a bit like, I don't want to do this. I was like, this is what you can do with your art.
It's good.
Do your piece here, and then you can go on and make anything you want. You don't have to draw whatever. But just for this exam, you've got to draw a picture of this.
Really good. Go and see that one. They're my ones, guys.
Nice.
I've got a YouTube channel to shout out.
Ooh, I don't know what I did.
Shallow Press. If you go to Shallow Press, they're doing like creator interviews. They've got one up so far with a comic called The Stranger, and I like the sound of it so much. I've bought a copy of The Stranger, and that's hopefully winging its way to me in the through the Royal Mail as we speak. And I was
is that the comic you got to sit on for an hour before you read it?
I will. I'll do that. Fuck it.
Do a video
for the OF. And I was put onto this by a Twitter user called Flops @Flops Comics.
Oh yeah, I see you chatting to him.
Yeah, pulp comic artist. Man, his stuff is great.
Got some lovely stuff.
Go check him out. Just absolutely, they've done like a retro sort of Batman 66, is it? As like absolute Batman.
Okay.
Is that Flops as in FLOPS?
Yes, @Flops Comics.
Nice.
So you go check them out. Kickstarter, we've got Big Guns versus Mighty Zombies comic book, 60-page busty action comic book as the big guns fight for survival in a zombie apocalypse, drawn by, who do you think drew that comic? Previous guest.
Boo Rudetoons.
Yes, well done, Vince. I told you the boos were coming, and now they're here. Do go check out that. Boo's comics feature gratuitous amounts of nudity and breasts virtually on every single page. So that's not one maybe for that reading group we mentioned earlier. We've got the Yo Comics Fair, calling all young comics creators. It's going to be on Stanley Arts Hall, 12 South Norwood Hill, London, SE25 6AB. It's going to be in March 2026. They're looking for kids who make comics to come and share their creations at the fair. So
awesome.
If you've got a young'un who likes making comics, this seems to be the place to go and take them, show their comics. So not give up for that. More on that as it comes up. And obviously, you can't go without being a bit lax on this. Lawless, 9th and 10th of May 2026. Doubletree by Hilton Hotel, Bristol, BS1 6NJ. And we was only talking last week, Piper, me and Vince.
Yeah.
Talked to him at one of those shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, did we all get petrol head from them that day?
I don't think I was there.
Yeah.
No,
you weren't there that day.
It was joined by the Honourable Tom Curry.
Yeah, the fourth Beatle.
Who's been reading Alien Legion, and that's the little blind spot for me. I need to read that one day.
Memory serves, he went off to build a shed later that day, so a man of many talents.
Yeah. Do you remember he sent us a picture of him petting a goat once?
Nothing wrong with
Not
that.
a euphemism.
No, it wasn't. No, just a nice goat.
A goat.
I love goats.
Yeah, their eyes, though, I don't like them.
Pygmy goats. Yeah, they got like triangle eyes, haven't they? They got like
devils.
Yeah. Wow. Do you scream at them when you see them, Tony? Like devils, devils.
That's my my Dungeons and Dragons names. Screams at goats.
Screams at goats.
Yeah.
Amazing. It screams your first name.
Screams at. It's dull barreled.
Oh, right, okay, nice. Oh, you're clearly a noble. Anyway.
Give me a sword.
Anyway, we've recommended a lot of comics this week, but fucking hell, we're going to do it some more because it's the recommendation part of the show. Now we got a fair few. How many we got? I mean, I've just got one this week. Tony, you got two.
Yeah.
You had a shout out for one with a woman exposing her breasts on the cover, which
Dan immediately brings that. Okay, let's shout that out. Let's do that first.
This is from Underground Comics. This is just, I'm going to properly review this another time, but I just want to give it a shout out. It's called Filth. It's got a lady taking her jumper off, exposing her bare breasts, and it says, "You collect comic books? Fuck me, you hunk."
Sorry. Somebody clip that and turn it into a musical like jingle.
Right.
You collect comics.
Fuck me, you hunk.
Fuck me, you hunk.
My first one, though, however, is called Ghoul Butcher. There's a picture of it, showing the boys it. I got an early copy of this, thanks to Falpy. It is available through all good comic shops, and I believe
it's not about Dan Butcher, is it?
I'm in no way related to this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it does look a bit like you with a shotgun.
It does.
It is absolutely as nutty as it sounds. I got it through Falpy, who takes part in it. So he does letters, does a backup story, and he also does the design in it. Art, however, is by Ken Landgraf. We're all fans of Ken's work. And story and dialogue is by Kirk Oldfield. Now, Kirk, it's written in the vernacular of a good old boy. I'll put it that way, like in a southern states good old boy in America. I'm going to read you the opening. "Well, partner, you best take a swig from that canteen and pull yourself up a chair. I'm going to tell you a story about Warren Falls, the hardest working small engine mechanic this side of the bloated goat saloon." And it continues in that style of vernacular throughout it. In fact, Warren is kind of the hero of the piece. He's a wily old coot. He's He's wears a baseball cap, and any weapon that falls into his hand that Ken and Kirk decide he will use lethally on ghouls, which are, when you think ghouls are, they're kind of zombies, but with a bit more compos mentis about them. There's one that's a prostitute. There's, they invade the Oval Office. There's lots going on. It is. I don't think I'm being rude about it when I say it is massively uncomplicated, and could be argued it's just a series of beautifully narrated scenes and splash panels showing various types of zombies, aka ghouls, getting fucked up by Warren and his mates. Ken and Kirk show them basically ruining the world, taking over the world, killing everyone. Not just the world. They even take over a space station, the Oval Office, as I said, bars, churches. There's no real through line of narrative or character. I kind of think they've just drawn lots and lots of just murder and mayhem constantly throughout it, that sort of vaguely have a sort of connection to them, but are mostly just murdering these zombie type things. A couple of pages of note. There's one that shows a ghoul prostitute having her own. So she approaches this lorry driver, doesn't know what's going on. And he says, "Hey, darling, come and get in the lorry with me," And someone says, "That's a ghoul," So our hero appears and shoots her with a shotgun, and her whole skeleton exits the back of her body in one image. Nice. And I thought that's pretty cool. It's the sort of comic that 14-year-olds and stoners will really like. Yeah. It's just the sort of thing that will get passed around a playground or passed around like a joint with people going, "Fuck, this is cool." And that's kind of it. That's what Ken does.
Yeah, that sounds great.
In the back, there's a lovely 16-page backup from Falpia with some lovely black and white Falpy detailed panels. As sort of
nice work, man. There. Yeah, lovely. Tony's just holding up now.
Yeah, who he buys a blow-up doll, manages to get the blow-up doll pregnant, and then things happen. It's all a bit strange. Prestige format. File it under Outlaw, proudly on my shelf. And it's got a great cover. I do like that cover. I mean, it's very sort of generic, isn't it? Man firing a shotgun, there's a church in the background, there's a rocket in the background, prostitutes and ghouls, and there's a sort of bit more violence on the back. That cover is exactly what you get in the comic. There's no more depth to it than that. And sometimes that's all we want from a comic, isn't it? We just want people blowing things up and getting fights and stuff. So go order Ghoul, Ghoul, Ghoul Butcher.
Nice. I'll jump in with my recommend. This is another one from Mad Cave. When I look back on my list of this year, there's probably going to be quite a few issue ones of Mad Cave, I'd imagine, on my list. But how many of them returned for issue 5? Interesting. It's something to think about. Maybe I might talk a little bit more about it in the
Mad Cave.
Yeah.
In
the end, because some of them start really strong, and this particular issue that I'm going to talk about is another strong start.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of them that, as they've gone on, I've finished reading them. I mean, I'm reading them on Global, so Mad Cave goes on there. So, but if I was buying them, possibly, on the shelf, I maybe would have drifted off after issue 3. Do you know what I mean? I've completed the set digitally because I had this subscription service, but then by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, it was disappointing at the end. And of course, I'll shout out the ones. I'll shout out the ones that sing that completely hit the mark. But with some of them, they don't. Anyone who's been
buying the trades on any of these after you read them?
I will do with some of them. Right. I do sort of make a little list sometimes. Okay, that one's a trade. The ever-growing need to get a trade of this.
Okay.
But this one is Ferocious from Mad Cave. It came out fairly recently. The author, the writer, I'm going to get the names horribly wrong on this.
Good cover.
Luke Pietrowski. That's one of the variant covers. As always, Mad Cave usually do a bunch of variants. There's a couple of different versions of it. The main cover, which is the one that will be in the Substack, and I just showed the chaps, that's by Andy Clake and Jose Villarrubia. The artist of the book is Emmanuel Ercoloni. Paolo Ritteri is the colorist, and Carlos M. Manguel is the letterer. Apologies if I will have murdered those names. But what is a ferocious? It's a fantasy-based story. I'm beginning to loathe the shorthand of saying, "Oh, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, you like." I'm loathing that shorthand now. Much in the same way that I've come to loathe the Hellboy shorthand for many stories. And purely as a gamer, there was some things of this that reminded me more of like a game. If you're a video gamer, you know the Dragon Age books or anything like that, games, something like that. But that's purely in visual style. The story: a tavern boy's sheltered life is overturned by the arrival of a towering draconic woman, a wayward soldier from a distant war who single-handedly lays waste to his entire village. He swears an oath of righteous vengeance, but in order to fulfill it, he'll have to seek training from the warrior woman herself. Which is a brilliant setup, and a setup that I didn't know when I read this issue. So, because it's in that setup there, I don't mind spoiling some of the minor things for issue 1, which worked really well. Because I went into it, I thought, that's a fucking cool cover. That immediately made me think, I want to read this. And it doesn't really fuck about. This small boy is talking to his mother, I think it's his mother, works in this tavern. He was just down at the nearby stream, just doing some washing, and there was something in the water. And the first page is literally just a little bit of dialogue, and it pans out. His mother says, "What was it?" And there's a brilliant sort of full page shot, a splash page of him stood in this water, and there's just red and bodies that are clearly washed down in the river. They're not bits of body, it's clearly people that had died in some sort of huge battle and just floated downriver. And they were of two different types of people, because the woman says, were they their men or ours? So there's clearly, through just shorthand, we know these sort of battles. There's a battle between the normal folk and whoever the bad guys are, which they call savages. It just happens to be that these savages are like monster-like figures. They're humanoid figures that have like huge horns. They almost look devil-like, which is why when I saw draconic in the description, I was like, really? Looked more devil-like to me. And they're called ferals. And he saw one, and he's talking about they're not as big as the stories have told. And you see this figure in the water with an arrow stuck out of him, and he pulls her out of the water, thinking she's dead. And then there's a small moment where her eyes open, and she's like, he's just about to sort of move towards her, and she immediately like grabs his wrist. He panics, runs off, and then shortly afterwards, the tavern's hosting a wedding, and it's all jovial. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is wonderful," and this feral woman. When I say feral, it doesn't do it because we think hairy beast-like people. This is, it's almost like a tiefling Klingon, like huge brute barbarian woman who just turns up. Not only lays waste to everyone in the tavern, pretty much the town, and she just fucking murders everyone. Like literally just, and it's not. I will say with the art in this, which is great, it's not the same artist as on the cover. It moves at a pace that we're not getting gore that you'd see in Battle Beast, but you can tell when someone gets hit, they're dead. And she basically just leaves, and he's just left in this wreckage because he was a small boy, and someone's talking to him afterwards like, what happened. He tells the story, and he's sort of obsessed with getting revenge. Then it's like, right, I'm kind of responsible with this. I'm gonna kill her. So he walks away, and he goes to try and hunt her down with this. He has a weapon that you see on the cover, which is like a sickle, which always look really nasty. I think those sort of curved. Yeah, I mean, they're used for cutting wheat, but they're a classic nasty weapon, aren't they? He tries to approach her. She immediately catches him, and they understand each other's. She can understand what he's saying, and it's basically almost an old school. I mean, this is a sort of tale that could be a samurai, it could be a cowboy, it could be someone who wants vengeance against someone, and when they get there, this person's like, okay, you want to kill me one day? That's fine. I'm going to train you so that one day you'll be... The setup is, if you're going to be prepared to kill, you've got to be prepared to kill. So the setup of this is the bad guy is training the protagonist to eventually... It's a nice little twist on that sort of revenge tale that You know, I can imagine being in the class. It feels like it's a sort of plot line that I've seen in an old 70s movie. You know, something like that. It's like, oh, there must be something like that.
There's got to be a kung fu movie like that.
Yeah. But it's that nice acidic twist, because when you see the page at the end, because she decides to call him Ren, and she says, "On your feet, Ren. Much to learn if you hope to kill me." And then the last page is she's got her arms on his shoulders and says, "Come along, I'll show you." And it's him holding this sort of sickle, looking like nervous, and her face is completely in shadow, and she looks like an evil bastard. So immediately I thought, this book isn't going in any way how I thought it was going to be, but I'm in. I want to know what happens in issue 2. I have the nerves of Strong issue 1. Where do we go from here? Which I think is like just a general comics thing, isn't it? But definitely a strong start, and I think in a couple of months this will be this came out on the 19th of November, so I think over the next couple of months there'll be a couple of issues, you know, jump in, see what it's like, and see where it goes from there. But it's a really strong start for me, that one. That's Ferocious from Mad Cave Comics. Well worth your time.
That sounds great.
Cool.
Okay, Dan, what you got?
I have not written down the fucking title. It's called Devil's Luck, from Comixology Originals, sent to Stout Club Limited Series.
I love this cover.
Hailstone story. I had to look this up because I didn't realise this is already based on a series a story that's already been told.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
No. I think this comic's been... They're on a bit of a sort of a press tour, because I looked it up, and there's a lot of sites that are reviewing this comic, and it's been reviewed favourably. And
I'm interested. When I looked at the cover, I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. So I want to see what you say about this.
So written by Raphael Scavone, Eduardo Ferrigato, artist, Division Mains as letterer, Eduardo Ferrigato and Raphael Albuquerque on the cover, and Greg Lockhart as an editor. The blurb is: Leopold Oberon, a once prosperous mining tycoon from Montana, sports a gleaming set of gold teeth and keeps a peculiar amulet close at hand. Since the mine shut down, his standing in the town of Hailstone has sunk considerably, and more than a few hard-up men have begun to eye those teeth with hungry interest. Even Doc Beacon, the town dentist, drowning in debt, finds himself approached with a proposition: perform a few discreet, unofficial extractions. But the would-be thieves have got themselves into more trouble than they bargained for. It's a great tale that this character, the one with the gold teeth, Mr. Oberon, I think he's a bigger player in the previous story, but you can read this straight off the rip. You don't need to have read the previous one on this. And it starts off, he's getting all these teeth replaced one by one with gold teeth. And it's sort of, think of it like a Western era kind of tale with the introduction of like the motor vehicles coming in. So we're looking like 1935. And there's some real kind of back and forth between the main character with the protagonist, which is the dentist character, that he's kind of fascinated by this guy, like, why are you getting all your teeth replaced with gold ones? And he's got this kind of, when he's down in the dental chair getting his teeth done, he sees this strange medallion down on his chest, and he's like, well, what's this? And the guy basically goes on to say that I sort of made a deal for this medallion, and whenever I've ran it, I've never worried about money. I've never had to worry about life. It's all gone well for me. And the dentist, who's kind of a bit of a God-fearing Christian, starts thinking, is he kind of in league with the devil? And him and a bunch of kind of like ne'er-do-wells come to a kind of understanding that we could solve all our problems by fucking getting this guy and taking all these teeth. The dentist sells them off and splits the money between the group, and it all goes pretty wrong pretty quickly by the end of the comic. And it sets up, you just like, oh fuck's sake, I want to read more of that straight away, like to know where the story's going. And it's very hard to tell, you know, like you read comics and you think, I could fill in the gaps here to the ending, I could really tell this story. I can't with this. It's very interesting. It does leave you wanting to find out more. And that was sent in on the emails, so we've got all three.
It came in from Comixology to us. Yeah,
give it a read. Really recommend it. It's a fun read. So I think that's available through Comixology, I presume.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's next week it comes out.
Yeah. do go check that. That's the. Let me say the title one more time as I scroll up to it. That is The Devil's Luck, and the front cover is sort of teeth being grit, and they're all gold.
Nice. Tony, what else you
got? My second one is The Gullet, edited and designed by Vincent Bell Robertson. He's got some excellent art in this.
That's a lovely title.
Right, I'm going to talk a little bit about about the wraparound cover.
Lovely cover.
There's all manner of boning going on in this cover. So you get two tomatoes. You say tomatoes having sex. Sitting on the top of a head that's had its insides shot outwards by some arrows. But then if you look in the background, you got Robin Hood and Friar Tuck going down on him, all being filmed by the sun on his camcorder. So there's nothing normal about this cover. It's magazine size, black and white interiors, but really nice. This is the third issue. I've got the previous two as well. The wraparound cover is by Stuart Sloan. Just beautifully coloured. I think this is something to do with Underground Comics as well, which is who we've mentioned now previously. The little group that's Falpy and Matt Greaves and a couple of others. I think there's something to do with it because it's got their logo
right. Okay.
At the top there, top right. There's a lot of great stories inside. There's a one-page story by Matt Greaves. He also does a text piece and a short prose piece, and he does a sort of one-page illustration. It's called Fly, Toilet and Turd, which is about the story of a poo. Really, I think that's kind of. You can see that it's sort of poo wandering around.
Excellent.
Doesn't end well for him. There's a poem called Doug Shit by Les Hodge, who I'm guessing is Scottish. They Dougs up in Scotland, is that right? Maybe he is. I don't know. Yeah, know that for maybe. Sure. Loads of really good single panel or newspaper style panel gags. It's a strange magazine. It's a bit across between the Paris Review, Metal Hurlant and Zap magazine. It's got a really interesting style to it. Falpy's got a couple of things in here again. This is a big week for Falpy this week. He's in 3 comics. I met him for dinner on Wednesday, and he gave me a print he's just made and 3 comics he's in. I think one of which he's edited.
Man, slamming
it. Yeah, Dirty Herbert's Welcome Home Party is the pro story he's got in there, and along with Does That Make Sense, which is his comic story, which is at the back, and it's a comic about an artist, his ego, his muse, his madness. It's a type of redemption, a little bit of boning in it. There's loads of other stuff in there. Go look up Vincent Bell Robertson on Instagram. There's loads there. You can go to the Gullet, Gullet magazine, the Gullet magazine.bigcartel. Sorry, single T, Gullet magazine, the Gullet magazine.bigcartel.com. All 3 issues are available there. And there's a lovely print as well, which I'm very sort of tempted to get. I'm gonna say probably just for adults. You get this sort of thing in it. It's just some really interesting cartooning in it, which he's really invested in that world, and there's some really interesting sort of bloody sexy kind of stuff going on. When I first saw this, I thought it was American or possibly European, but I've got a feeling he's from Scotland. I'm not sure if I'm right there. Please write in and let us know, Vincent, because I've probably got it wrong, as I always do. But yeah, beautiful stuff, and I highly recommend just get the 3 of them. Then it's not going to be a big package. They're not expensive. This was a £5, so that's reasonable. Thank fuck for the small press that was reasonable. Yeah. They're few and far between these days. But yeah, that's a good price for this. Really is. Yeah, and that's my second one. There you go, guys.
Nice. Brilliant. What a murderer's row of comics to get as gifts to check out in the upcoming weeks and more. And we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Awesome Comics Podcast. And if there's anything you want us to talk about in the run-up to Christmas and the New Year and everything, well, I think there's going to be quite a few potential topics that we're going to talk about. I'm looking forward to what 2026 has for us and what the rest of 2025 has for us. Well, I can tell you that for certain. There'll be loads of comic book chatter. Looking back on the year, maybe a Christmas comic here or two that we will announce probably soon. and more. But do get in touch with us if there's anything you want us to shout out, etc. There's several different ways you can do it. You can email us awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at awesomecomicspod on Insta, at the awesomepod on X. And where did you hear us? Perhaps it was on the website awesomecomics.podbean.com. Wherever you heard us, please like, subscribe, follow, leave a review. It really does help the show. Get this, spread the word about the show. Especially during the Christmas period. I mean, we do notice the numbers. I mean, telling truth, the numbers go down around Christmas period because everyone's off seeing family and whatever. So, and we totally understand. But just show us some love.
Spend Christmas with us.
Yeah, spend Christmas with us, and not just at the drink and draw. But we like to be in your ears for a couple of hours every week. And whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife, what other networks are we on, Tony?
Yes, we're on the network that deals with Christmas presents that you may wish to buy your loved one. And a little bit of a warning here. Don't be tempted to buy a loved one a shacket. You may have heard the term. It is, in fact, the combination of two words, jacket and shit.
Okay. And we are on other networks, as well as you can buy our merch from acbgear.redbubble.com.
We don't sell fucking shackets.
No.
Nah.
No.
Don't think they offer them at Redbubble, unfortunately.
But if they would make the podcast a few quid, we might be tempted. No.
We never sell out.
No, we'll never sell out.
Trying to sell things.
We'd just like to sell anything. But what we will sell you on is joining us next week for more comics chatter. Until then, where can people find us online, etc.? Tony?
NeverOnAnything.com or Tony EZ on Substack.
Nice. Dan?
You can find me on Twitter, aka X, at Vanguard Comic. You can read Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com.
Nice. It feels like your hair has grown during the episode. Like it was sort of a little bit
shiny.
Yeah, it was a little slicker when we started this recording, but it seems to
have... because I've got that white bit there that makes it look like...
Oh, you're a villain, aren't you? You're a comic book villain.
Going into my
Dickie Davis.
Era.
Yeah, Dickie Davis. Anyway,
Old
you can...
school reference.
Yeah.
The real ones.
Yeah, for the real ones. Pull one out. You can find me on social media at Just a Diablo. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. In all seriousness, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you're enjoying the comics that you're reading. If there's anything that we should be checking out or that we've missed out, or we can't read everything. Even though we laugh about Tony reading everything, we literally can't. So let us know.
I don't read everything.
No. So let us know what we should be checking out. I'd never laugh at you.
With me.
It's no laughing matter. You should see someone about it. Anyway,
we didn't do so much thrown under the bus action this week.
No.
No.
It's a bit earnest.
Yeah, we'll have to check the timetable next week and see who goes under those wheels. And they'll line up to Christmas. Yeah, they go round and round, much like we do on this show. And until next week, from everyone here at the ACP Towers, Dan, Tony, and myself, have a brilliant week. Read loads of comics, make loads of comics. And as always, what's the other thing that you have to do, chaps?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.